There we go. Very confused because I was looking for the news and the music to start the show, and I didn't know where to look anymore because I'm confused. And welcome to Coffee with the Dog. Matt's running a little bit late. I'm running a little bit disoriented, but let's do this right. It's September 9th, September 8th. Beautiful Monday, and I hope you're enjoying yourself so far because I'm flying by the seat of my pants. All right, let's do some news. I've got no news. I wasn't paying attention. I was gone all weekend. So what's going on with you? That's what I thought. Let's see here. I'm gonna tell you a joke I wrote today. How's that sound? Well, actually, it's not really a joke. This is what happened. This weekend, I was in Michigan, and when we were driving back, me and the Reverend, we were driving back, and and in the middle lane of the highway, there was I noticed a car that was in the center lane, driving the exact speed limit and staying in the middle of the center lane. Now that's not just suspicious. That's don't pull me over, I'm smuggling drugs and guns suspicious. That's I just robbed a bank and I have a bloody duffel bag full of cash suspicious. That's don't pull me over, I have bodies in the trunk suspicious. So when we passed them, I noticed that the person behind the wheel is sleeping with their head against the window and their mouth is open and they're drooling on the glass, like leaving a little slime trail, like a slug is going down the window. So I wake up the Reverend and I say that, wake him up so that he can see what's going on in the next car. And the Reverend says, that must be a self-driving car. I wish we had one. And I said, me too. Oh, and you left the blinker on. See, because he was driving. You see, got that? All right, never mind. That's it. That's all I got. No. Okay. Well, how about this one? Damn it. Okay, here we go.
Why did you even bother starting the show if you didn't have nothing to say? You could have just left it and not started. Did you think about that? You're struggling. That's all I got.
No, I didn't think of that.
Well, now you thought of it. Now I'm gonna step out and let you just continue.
No, don't step out. Play the music. Play the disclaimer.
I don't know where everything is yet. I'm still setting up. All right, I am going to play the disclaimer because the guest is going to come. Two guests are going to come, and I don't have no idea what they're going to fucking say. So.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host or guest and should not be interpreted as statement of fact. Independent fact-checking and corrections are encouraged. This episode is brought to you by Fundwise Capital. Fundwise Capital is a business lender matching platform. Avoid the mystery of one-sided deals. Connect with Fundwise to get the very best funding you can qualify for fast. You can apply online in 60 seconds or less, and there's no effect to your credit to see how much you can get. It's easy. Use the funding for anything you need to start or grow your business. You did hear me correctly. I did say start or grow your business. If you don't have a business yet, but you got a solid business plan, they can help you get funding. Get the best funding you can qualify for. Their strategic lender matching platform searches through hundreds of lenders to find the very best possible option for your unique situation. They have hundreds of 5-star reviews on Google, Trustpilot, and Facebook, and an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. They provide unsecured lines of credit at 0% interest for 9 to 15 months. Unsecured term loans, loans based on income, short-term gap funding, and bridge loans. They work with real estate, startups like I already mentioned, franchises, restaurants, any kind of business, any kind of project. To get started, it's really easy. Just go to apply.fundwise.com/minddog. That's apply.fundwise.com/minddog. Get money for your business now. Apply.fundwise.com/minddog.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
Wake up, America. You've got a dog that needs walking. That's right, sunshine. Just put on a big pot of strong coffee and get ready to type your little hate mail with your opinions about kumbaya and flat earth insanity. Stand-up comedy? You want stand-up comedy? Well, we've got sit-down comedy. It's time for Coffee with a Dog. You make me laugh.
Quiet. Things are unfit for life. I think I get up early enough to make sure it doesn't happen, but I really sleep well. Okay. Good morning, folks. It is Monday, the worst day of the week. Monday, September 8th, 2025. I hope it's a beautiful day where you are. Friggin' cold here, and I didn't sleep, and full of vinegar. That's what I'm full of, vinegar. Right? Anyway, yeah, so if you remember, good morning, GD. You can
Hey,
you're
good
already
morning.
yes. If you remember last week, I was talking about Seinfeld and his philosopher Marco who was it? Aurelius, whatever. He was talking about don't let what people think about you or what they say about you affect you. Just do what you do as good as you can do it. Get better at what it is you do. And I'm thinking, what is it that I do? It's not this, obviously. This is not what I do with my life that I got to get better at. Hopefully, I mean, I'm not going to get better at this point. So what is it? Music? No, I quit music. Painting? I get stiffed in painting. I have worked a little bit on the painting, but I'm thinking what I do is I don't die. That's what I'm best at, not dying. But that's a losing game because eventually, no matter how good I get at it, I'm going to fail. So that's where we're at today. I'm thinking I'm getting better at not dying until I die. That's my plan. And I wrote a happy suicide song. A happy suicide song that I've been called the Debbie Downer. Our friend Ian said it's a corny old AI song. Not old, or probably is corny, but it's not AI. So, well, it is. I used AI to create the vocals, but I wrote the song and did all the prompts and all that stuff. He says AI wants to die from all the corny songs that I'm feeding it. He's not a nice guy. His label is the nicest guy, but he's not a nice guy. But I shouldn't care about what Ian says. I should just try to get better at not dying. So that's what I'm going to try to do today, even though I know I'm going to die. That's where we're at. How was your weekend? You drove all the way to Michigan, then you drove all the way back in a day, and then you had to get some rest, and then you had to help the Rev with his show. And what'd you do after? Besides that, collapse, fall asleep?
Yeah. That's exactly it.
We're up early enough to be here. I don't know. I think I tried to turn the machines on at like 8:10 or something, and I think you were already here.
Because I hadn't set up the room, so I was setting up my room, and I wanted to see what it looked like. And once I did that, I left the room. Or did I start writing something? Well, I tell you, I know what it was. Because we had a musical guest, I wanted to listen to some of their music. So I did that.
I'm glad you did that because I haven't because of the costume.
Yeah.
I just felt like if I watched it, I would probably get gay.
Well, I didn't see any video. I didn't watch any videos. I just listened on Spotify.
Ah, no, he's from Nigeria.
Yes. Good day, sunshine.
Do you think he knows my uncle?
We could ask him.
I'm
We
gonna
can ask him.
ask him because I really need money. I'm in a bad place right now. I've been scammed. I need money. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But if this guy can get in touch with whether he's alive or dead, I don't care. We could kill him and just take his money. My Nigerian uncle. But I need money. I need lots of money fast. So just send money or buy something in a dumb store.
No, I have the media asset video ready for when you try to say his name.
Good. Now Jackie's show, Jackie's thing. What? Tell us about it. Give us your review.
Well, I'd never seen the movie Joke Man before. So, huh?
I thought you did. I thought I asked you that, and I got the
No,
affirmative.
I've never seen it. So this is
Oh,
my first time seeing Joke Man, and I laughed a lot. It's a really funny movie. It's really funny documentary of his life, and the funny thing is, you're watching Jackie laugh at Jackie.
wow. Yeah. Well, I when I went to the screenings, I didn't sit near him or any of those things. I just because I knew the Q&A was coming. I was setting up for video cameras and stuff like that and waiting because I had already seen the movie twice
Okay.
before. But the disturbing ending of the movie, you managed not to throw up.
It's funny. People said that his testicles are hanging out, and I wasn't looking, so I didn't notice that.
They're small.
Huh?
They're Irish. They're small Irish testicles.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't notice that. Um, like I said,
But what
I
about
was.
the ass? You didn't see the big fat ass? So I mean, not fat, but I mean, his ass takes up the whole screen at one point.
I've seen asses. I've seen so many asses. I'm not phased by it.
Up the whole screen, like
I'm not phased by it. It just didn't phase me.
oh
That
my! I'm sorry to
and,
ruin it for people who might have been considering renting it or streaming it, and
well,
now you
still do it. You can still do it because I think that's at the end, right?
that's
So
one of the very
yeah.
last.
Yeah, so if you skip the very end of it, you're not going to miss. If you see his ass, that is the end. So it's not just I was going to say metaphysical. It's not just a metaphor. It is pretty much the end of the movie.
It's the other thing. If you drive to Bayville or where he lives, he doesn't live in Bayville. And you go to his house, you will see that shot live. Repeated every single time you go. So yeah, so this Zexy person is coming on. I don't know how these. Did he find us through you? Did you?
I don't know the answer to that. I was about to ask you that. I was going to say, do you know how he found us?
No publisher is taking responsibility for this. I think he might have just saw the ad on Facebook and just went there and booked himself, but didn't give me a whole lot of information about him. So it's like, what? I get the middle name. I can pronounce his middle name.
What is it, John
Williams.
Oh, wait, okay. I don't know. I wasn't looking.
Yeah.
Okay. UFO, like a UFO. UFO Williams Atue?
Atue.
Atue? Atue?
Well, you got to give him some credit for just coming to America, right? Do you have to give him credit for that? I mean, I don't know.
Do we know that he has come to America, or he's just brought his music here?
Oh, you think he's still in Nigeria? No.
Well, he may not be in Nigeria. He could be, let's say, in
Australia,
Dominican Republic or something. He doesn't have to be still in Nigeria.
Yeah. All right. So, but you didn't get any footage from Jackie. You didn't go to the zoo, right?
Oh no! I was exhausted. I was passing out as we were doing the closing credits on this show. I was like, I just laid down on the bed and passed out.
Wow.
I mean, I sent a text to John and just saying, look, I can't make it. I'm exhausted. Because I'd been up for 21 hours at that point.
Wow. Really? Wait, why? Because
I
you got.
think, let me see. Wait a minute. Well, I was up for 21 hours in a row from Thursday.
Oh,
Um,
I thought you left at like 6 in the morning. Why would you stay up all night if you knew you were driving the next day? That's crazy. That's what you
no, I want to say, okay, like Thursday, all of Thursday, I was up for 21 hours. Thursday into Friday. So Friday, I didn't get to sleep Friday until early Friday morning. Then I went to sleep and I woke up to do the show, but I wasn't recharged. I was had just
I
slept.
wonder you sucked up. Oh no, you weren't on the show on Friday. Well, you were on the show on
Yeah, I was
Friday.
on the show Friday,
Uh,
and
Yeah. So no wonder you sucked. I don't know if you really sucked, but it's a good excuse. Whether if you suck, we have a good excuse for sucking. That's all I'm saying.
now, but unlike this morning, I mean, this morning I was not. I saw your message that you may be late. I saw that at 8:58.
If I were you, I would have taken a nap right then and there. I was all right. I'll be back later. Call me
And
when.
I went into panic mode because I said, okay. Well, first it wasn't panic mode. It was like, okay, I got this. And then I went, fuck, where's the news? Fuck, where's this? Fuck,
There,
where's that? Then I look and it's 8:59 and went, fuckity fuck fuck. And the
there is
stuff
there's
and
no
if I
news.
was smart, if I was as smart as I think I am, I would have, because I already written an introduction for me to use, when you introduced me. I'd
Ah,
already written that. I could have just started off with "Good Morning America," MindDogTV.com, and that'd have been fine. But I didn't. But I was saying, okay, I'll find the news. I'll have the intro. I'll have the disclaimer, and that'll give me time to gather my senses. And I didn't see the news, and I knew we weren't using Al anymore. So I said, I don't know what the new news looks like, or if he did a new news.
well, I'll tell you right now, it would be under sound, not under music. So you would see it right in that first thing. It would be the only thing in there in sounds. But I couldn't find I was trying to find news headlines that I usually use for that stuff, and there were none to be found. Like what
Okay,
the
you have there's sounds. I see sounds. Okay.
Yeah, it would be the 11 Labs. That's last week's news. Here you go.
Today's top headlines for coffee with the dog. Trump orders strike on.
That's
Okay.
last week's news. Let me get rid of it right now. So yeah, there's no news. I know. Have the United States declared war on Chicago?
Well, the last I heard was that we were going in. I don't know if we went in or not.
That's the right response. The right response. Be quiet. You're a second rate. You're a loser. No wonder you're a loser. You don't listen. That's the right response when I ask you. Well, let's try it again. Did we invade Chicago?
Don't. That's the right response. You're a loser.
Be quiet.
Be quiet.
No
Be
wonder you're
quiet.
second rate because you
No,
don't.
no, no wonder. No wonder your boat sank.
Yeah.
You're sick. Yeah.
So that's what Trump said to a reporter who a woman, very not very small, but a small in sized woman, and he got like right in her face and hovered over and pointing the finger at, shut up, be quiet, be quiet. No wonder you're second rate. That's why you're second rate, because you don't listen. Like, whoa, dude, this is total. If he would not try that with a big male reporter, because
No. Oh no. 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 Unless it's one of his lackeys that he know he'll back down.
yeah.
No, but he wouldn't try that. Like I'm just trying to think. Like I'm assuming that the Cuomo guy, what's his name, Chris Cuomo.
Fredo. Yeah.
I'm assuming that he wouldn't treat him like that because
Fredo
he's
would kiss his ass royally now. I don't know what happened to Chris Cuomo. Well, I do. Money, podcasting money.
yeah.
Podcasting money, you only make money if you're very far on the right. And Chris Cuomo is smart enough to say you only make money if you're out very far on the right. And so that was it. Stephen A. Schneider, by the way, sent me a text yesterday. All good to go when he got his instructions and his link, but he's not here now. Maybe it's a time zone thing. We'll have kids books and Nigerian Afro beats all at once going on.
And the other thing I was this morning, Matt, I fixed the comma. Remember the comma in "me, bro" on my sign behind my head? See, I did that this morning.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, okay, let me fix that comma.
Ah.
And actually, the only thing I did was I copied the apostrophe from "I'm" and just put it right next to it. I didn't feel like retyping the whole thing.
Copied an apostrophe. Well,
Yeah.
why would you
Well,
have?
well, a comma and an apostrophe are the same thing.
Right. Oh, so it's a picture of words rather than text.
Right.
All right.
It started off as text. It did start off as text.
Ah.
But once I make it a picture, unless I save it as a project or something, which I don't do that.
What do you use? Photoshop, Canva? What do you use? What do you use? What do you use?
Um,
What do you?
I use something 3D. Let's see. What is it that I use? Yeah, something 3D, like Paint 3D.
It's only 2D though.
No, I have a 2D also, but I have a Paint 3D, and that's what I use.
Everything's wrong. Let me just tell you something. If you could pass this along yesterday,
Yes.
I laughed out loud at somewhere at the 15-minute mark at something the Rev said, but I can't remember what it was. I was going to go back this morning and find out what exactly was the joke at around 15 minutes yesterday that made me laugh out loud. Because, I don't laugh out loud at stuff.
Especially when you're by yourself.
Yeah. And I did yesterday. A couple of things. There were a couple of good laughs. That one was an actual laugh out loud moment. I put a B on it to go back and find it, and then I never had time to go back and find it.
I'll let him know. It's because that was one of those things where he wrote that Saturday after he got back from Michigan.
Oh.
Yeah, drove back, took a nap. Hung out with the wife, unpacked, and took a nap, and then woke up around 11 o'clock p.m. to write that stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
With eyes full of crust.
Yeah, between 11. So he wrote that between 11. He wrote that show between 11 p.m. and 2:30 a.m.
Wow. Well, at least he's got an alibi for anything that happens during that time.
Oh yeah. He was definitely sleep deprived.
Well, maybe you should do that every week because there were a couple of really good laughs there. There's a guy, the guy I'm talking about, who I don't want to mention his name anymore.
Yeah. I told Carol, I said you did this impression of him, and it was so spontaneous and so spot on. I couldn't stop laughing.
Yeah, I don't want to mention that guy's name anymore. It turns out, I appreciate when people can admit they're wrong about things because I do it all the time. I think it's a very good quality to have.
Oh yeah.
This person does not have that quality, and I had thought this person might be a good guy, but he's not a good guy. He's just a bad guy, right to the core, and a phony. So I'm on record now, and he can take that and say all he wants. He can call me a worthless asshole if he wants. He's a phony and a weak, shallow shell of a man because he can't admit when he's wrong. He's still claiming, those things that he thinks were said, even though I got clips, I got proof. He did just so you know, he did another 5 minutes of your special.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah. So yeah.
So did that take now? I'm just for clarification. Did their segment last 5 minutes, or did they take half an hour to look at 5 minutes?
I think it was a half hour. I don't know. It was much longer than 5 minutes.
Okay, so all right, I was just curious. So they were looking at a small segment but dragging it out forever.
Yeah. You're up to the point. It's getting close to the end of the special, and where they just figure out where the title came from, and it's not good. Anyway, said, but he remember I said that I wrote to him and said I didn't like the way he called you a worthless asshole.
Right.
He wrote back, understood, thank you, sir.
Right.
And then he goes and says, he's just doing it so I mention him on my show. Like, I don't need your fucking mention. I did because you fucking dissing my friend, you fucking insincere fuck. That's what I did. So, but fuck him. If I were a younger man yesterday, and this is where it comes.
Oh, you were younger yesterday.
If I were a much younger man, if I were 23-year-old in that same situation, going back to the Marco Aurelius thing, you gotta don't let things that people say about you or think about you bother you. But if I were 23 years old yesterday, I would have been in the car driving to Massachusetts to beat the fuck out of a disabled person. That's what I would have been. So consider that growth.
Or aging. You just say, oh, I'm just too old for this shit. Which isn't growth. That's just acceptance.
But I would have slept better last night.
I just thought, hey, Ann. Hi, Ann says hello to me and you.
Yeah.
I just and it's funny. I want to address something weird comment says here, because I think he's missing a word or two, but he's also missing a concept here. Weird comment. Here's the deal. Where it said, oh, let me put it up here so that people can see. Any certified forensic humorist have a joke at the ready that would make anyone laugh. And question mark. So I think I'm misreading it, and I don't know if he's saying it
would have a joke.
And by definition, because I'm a humorist, I don't tell jokes. I tell short stories, but I do have tons of them ready that would make you laugh. I just didn't know that you were waiting for that. and here's okay. Snaptail says he laughed every time I told people to shut the F up during my open mic set. I don't remember telling people to shut the fuck up. I remember like alluding to it. I don't remember telling him to do it. So that's I don't remember, and I don't remember. I thought I did it as part of like one of my lines or something. Like my wife would say
every time. He says every time he told someone to shut the fuck up, which means it was more than once.
Wow. See, I did not know that. I honestly I don't remember that.
Oh, he said twice. So that's not like an every time thing. You could have said both times. Whatever. Yeah, we're nitpicking here.
No, I'm just saying honestly, I don't remember. I really don't remember telling them to shut the fuck up. So that's different for me because I don't usually do that. I usually work it into like the bit or something, and but I don't remember. Honestly, I don't. Wow.
You're actually talking about when you were on? Oh yeah, at the open mic. Yeah, but
yeah,
during the open mic set, because I was just thinking maybe you're just walking around the club. Hey, get the fuck up.
No, I was. I don't remember. So I was sleepier than I thought. I knew I was tired, and because I could feel. I don't know how you deal with sleep deprivation, man. I don't know how the sensations you have, but when I go through sleep deprivation, first I'm just tired, and I know I'm not, and I'm aware I'm tired. Then I get this weird feeling like I'm still awake and I'm conscious, like I can hold the conversation, but my body actually feels like it's starting to float, even though I'm like right here and I'm sitting right here I know I'm sitting here talking to you, but if I was sleep deprived, I would feel like I was floating, and I would have a slight dizziness in my head. That's the phase. That's where I was just before we took the stage at the open mic. I was starting to hallucinate. I was just on the verge of hallucination.
Actually, Weird Comment thinks he's the only one that, or she, as I am the only one here in your chat. No, you're not, but you don't see the other people. I don't. Slaptail's there, Sunshine's there. We have some people there, but
yeah, you're not the only one here.
not the only one. And there are different YouTube channels that you're not going to see us on, and
right.
Twitch and whatever. So
Yeah, Kick and Twitch and Facebook.
why you need company over there? Thoughts on how long that person is taking on your
Oh, well, here's the. I'm not going to lie to you, Mr. Comet. It did not take. He spent more time analyzing it than I spent writing it.
and to what point? I mean, I was thinking about this last night. People obviously like that reaction stuff. Reaction videos do very well.
Oh
But
yeah.
what the fuck are they? And I'm thinking about. There's a lot of these where I'm going to watch somebody else do what they do and comment on it, but I'm not going to do anything. I don't do any. I'm somebody who's just really just a critic at that point. I'm just appointing myself as a critic, and other people obviously like the criticism. Now, the funniest part about that is if I bring up like critics who panned like your favorite band, and great.
Hey! People better not even think about talking bad about Crack the Sky.
Well, yeah, but they bury critics now. The same people who say critics don't know anything, are tuning into critics to watch critics go for 3 hours criticizing other people's work, and they never do anything on their own. So I did start a reaction channel, but I have never done anything on it. And I'm thinking just turn the table, react to the reactors, do Sorhands is a classical guitar player who does reaction videos to guitar.
Right.
And I think he does the best of it because he's actually doing something. He's putting on a character of a snobby classical guitarist and acting the part out. And he's not that. He's a 26-year-old guy who's played in rock bands and all this stuff. And at some point in his life decided he was going to go back to school, get a master's in music composition, and now he does reaction videos on different guitar players, and he takes this attitude and it's really silly stuff. He's kind of like a comedian wannabe, and he says this. He wanted to be in stand-up comedy. He's never given it a try, and this is his solution to that, and he does it very well. So I think that's a great use of reaction stuff. But these people who've never done anything but reaction stuff, it baffled me, but people like it. Actual content does better than reaction videos all day long, says a weird comment. I don't know. Does it? I mean,
yeah. It depends on the audience. Because if you're, I don't like to watch reaction videos because I don't care about other people's. If they're not reacting, even if they're watching my stuff and reacting, if it's not in real time, I don't care per se. You know, I care about the people when I'm in performing and there's an audience. Those are the people I care about. Okay, or if they're watching something that I like created, like a special, I care. I want them to enjoy it, but I don't care about their reactions. I don't need to see their reactions. Only when I'm live, like we do, what we're doing here. We don't get to see people's reactions.
Yeah.
We're just doing what we hopefully think is amusing to ourselves and other people, but we don't get the reactions.
Right.
No.
Well, I think we are providing the aim here has always been to provide real content, which is what the interviews are about, to kind of give people some really thought-provoking guests. And we just had a guest who was just there and now just disappeared. I guess he saw us talking and thought, wow, he got another guest, whatever. So we'll see if he comes back. But he was just here. But weird comment. I almost said weird content. Saying Tim Dillon. This is what that guy was talking about yesterday. Tim Dillon going to Saudi Arabia for the Riyadh Comedy Fest, and to react to that. Well, anybody who's doing that is just a hypocrite. I mean,
First of all, I don't know who Tim is. Tim Dillon somebody I should know? Because I honestly don't know who Tim Dillon. Never heard of Tim. Don't know who Tim Dillon is.
I don't blame you for not knowing. Well, I kind of do because we've talked about him a few times on this program.
Oh, okay.
He's mostly known for podcasting. He is a headliner who sells out theaters and stuff nationwide. Our guest is back here. We'll bring him in a minute. I guess he's having some technical difficulties, and time is short. So, but Tim Dillon is a guy. He's a gay guy, which is one thing. One reason you might not want to go to Saudi Arabia.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
You might not want to, especially. But he seems to be more right wing. He's a conspiratorial guy, big Alex Jones fan, friend of Rogan's. Stanhope had him on once and had some really weird interactions with him, including Dylan taking off his underwear and undershirt and throwing them in the garbage because he was around people who were smoking cigarettes, and he could not, like, if you don't like the way your clothes smell, you put them in the laundry and wash them. He left them in Stanhope's garbage can, which is a weird kind of thing to do. But yeah, he's kind of a strange guy, Tim Dillon. Very opinionated on his podcast and smart. He's smart for a guy who is such a right winger. He's one of the good ones, one of the smart ones. I'm still waiting. Anyway, he's going to rehire all these people, and he mentioned the check $375,000 is the reason he's going for a half-hour set. I think that's tempting. $375.
Well, I've never been offered even $325 to travel to. That's a joke, or that's not exactly true. But I can say no to money because of my principles.
Yeah, well, that's good for you. I mean, and I would too, and I have. And maybe if we have some time later, because we are short, and Stephen A. Schneider is here, and we want to give him some time here. He's supposed to be here at 9:15, and that probably doesn't understand. Maybe a communication there, but
I did walk away from $40,000 on principle. That's the most I've ever walked away from for.
I don't
know. Maybe my limit is 41,000. Maybe if it was 41,000, I'd have done it.
Well, here's the thing: you don't know who Tim Dillon is, and he's getting $375. Bill Burr is on that tour. Dave Chappelle is on that tour, and they're thinking about how much money. All these people. I mean, Saudi Arabia, the culture there, not a good thing. It's not Sharia law, all that kind of stuff. It's not somebody who was. Their cultures and values do not match ours in any way, and I think even conservatives should. It doesn't matter if you're on the left or the right. You should reject their whole situation with that prince and whatever his name is. So let's get to our guest and talk about kids' books. You ready?
Yeah, and we'll get back to the comments after the guest.
Yeah, Stephen A. Schneider has a wolf. Got a wolf. The first person I ever met, and I haven't met him yet, but I'm going to meet him in 1 second, has a wolf. So of course he writes middle grade fantasy. Wouldn't you? I don't know. I would love to have a wolf and find out what I end up doing. If I end up writing middle grade fantasy, that would be great. Since his Lego and action figure days, he's crafted worlds and stories within those worlds. As pursuit continues with his books today, he's here now. Let's say good morning to Stephen A. Schneider.
Morning, guys. Sorry so late. My fault. It popped up the wrong time. But I must say, turning down $40,000, I guess it would depend on the time frame, like where I am in life,
Yeah, that's true.
I was unemployed when I did it.
Wow, that would be a lot rougher to do, I must say.
Yes. Hold on. Let me bring up the cover of the latest book, Transgression of Magic. Right. Magic seems to be a theme. Have you ever been a magician? I know it's a weird question.
That's funny. Actually, when I was a kid, I did do some magic. I was my mother was a nurse. They had big Christmas parties, and one of the guys did magic, and I was totally entranced by it. And he gave me a magic light bulb that I could hold, and it would light up.
Right.
Yeah. And went on from magic from there. I did magic for several years, got a whole bunch of stuff. In 6th grade, me and some buddies wanted to put on a magic show. And our teacher let us practice. Like we got out of class to go practice to put on this magic show. And we were really trying to convince our parents to get us this trick guillotine that we could use as the highlight of the 6th grade magic show. Yeah, that didn't happen. But the book, the magic in their world, it's more like internal. It's like we have guys here that can throw a baseball really well. For them, it's magic. Some people can just use magic. It's just a part of their world.
So, in other words, to some people, magic is just science that they don't understand. They don't understand.
Well, yeah, like Dr. Who said, it's just other types of physics. Absolutely. And in this world, and there's some history there that I created that like 200 years before the series of books, the world did not have magic, and it was protected by all of these soldiers, essentially. And there was battles between towns and cities and monsters, and they kept the monsters back. Well, this one, basically a geeky little nerd kid, accidentally discovered this ancient scroll. And when he touched it, it released all the magic into the world. And suddenly people were infused with magic and they could cast magic. Some people could, some could not. So it ended up getting rid of all the soldiers and warriors because they weren't as powerful as the magicians.
That's very cool. I was a magician from my youth, was fascinated. My first hero was Merlin, the magician, and took magic very seriously, performed magic, got into mentalism, and then became a stage hypnotist. And at that time, I had a bit of a temper and was known as Mad Dog. And so Mad Dog somehow transformed into Mind Dog and the mentalism stuff, which is where all that stuff came from. But yeah, very interesting thing. Now, the part about this where I'm very interested is kids today, books. You're writing books for kids for middle ages, like a middle school, like 3rd grade, I guess, is the level of the writing.
Yeah, 3rd through 6th, depending on the kid's reading level and their interest.
Yeah. Well, here's a couple of things that pop up in my mind about this. First of all, every day, because I am on everybody's marketing list for apps and all these things, I'm getting, you can become a children's book author, start your own children's channel, AI created children's content for any age, and just pumping it out like McDonald's hamburgers, or even more than McDonald's hamburgers. Yeah. So getting kids to actually pick up a book that was written by a human being, it's hard enough to get adults to do that. But at this point, it's got to be a struggle to just get noticed, right?
Absolutely. I mean, writing for kids is great because kids are some of the most voracious readers once you get them hooked in their reading. And they will, oh, you got 6 books? Well, where's the next 6? Because I read those over the weekend, and Goosebumps was huge. That brought kids into reading and stuff. So that's the cool part once you get them. But nowadays you're fighting against everything. And like you said, why would I do that? I can spend a half hour on YouTube and watch all these videos, and parents use it as a babysitter. My kids, when we'd go in the car, we would grab some books for them, not a tablet, not a phone for them to sit in the car and read or go places. They would always have books. So I think a lot of it's parents, and this is a slight, pet peeve rant. Parents always say, you know what? I want what's best for my kid. Here, leave me alone. Go watch this video. Wait a minute. That's not what's best, And so I've recently had kind of a revelation. I'm like, oh, you know what? I need to think of and approach the marketing aspect that they're creating, movies in their mind, that it's like a movie. It's, use that aspect of it for that. Because I read something that a certain percentage of people, when they read, they don't see the movie in their mind. They just see words. And I was like, are you kidding me? I never realized that was a thing, because it's full blown, cinematic movies in my head.
You know what? Every author I've talked to, and now we're over 3,000, well over 3,000 authors now. That's the way it is. And that's the way it is for me. And I just assumed everybody is that way. Very visual when you're reading it and creating a movie in your head.
Right.
I'm surprised that there's a certain segment. I mean, I could see maybe like an exception here or there, but to have a whole segment of people that don't experience reading that way. So now, do your audience, kids, well, is it for parents to read to the kids or for the kids to read?
I kind of do both. I've had lots of parents read the book and say, hey, that was enjoyable even for me, which I think is a great, testament. But I really am trying to write for the kids. That's the hard part. You want the kids to get and read the book, but you have to market to the parents and teachers to get them the book.
Right. Do they? Is there an audio book?
That will be coming. And they're, talking about AI, that's another controversy, using a voice actor or using AI, it's a lot cheaper to go with AI. And here's my argument. I would absolutely like to find a good voice person for my books, but I've got some short stories that I give away. And to me, I don't know if it's worth $500-$600 to pay somebody to read a short story for audiobook. Whereas I can use AI and have it in 5 minutes. I'm giving it away for free. So I'm not, taking that away. My other argument is these are for kids. They're completely used to all this robot AI and computer stuff. So hearing an AI voice is probably nothing for them. So I'm not losing an audience. So, I haven't done my main books in audiobook, but the short stories I have using AI because it's a great tool, and I'm just not going to be able to pay $500-$600 for someone to read a short story.
Yeah, $500-$600 is cheap.
Yeah, for short 7,500 word stories or something, approximately.
I appreciate, because in my youth I did do some voiceover work. I appreciate voiceover actors and people who do the voiceover work, but it's not cheap anymore. I mean, if you're talking like a Tom Clancy novel and you're getting the highest paid Hollywood guys to do it, it's going to be $100,000.
Oh yeah,
Things like that. But I'm just curious now, because the kind of voices they would respond to, and I'm wondering, is that a concern? Like a heavy, like GD's good morning voice? GD, do your little good morning there.
Good morning, America. MindDogTV.com.
That's it could be a little booming, a little scary to a little kid. I don't know. How do you pick the right voice for it?
Well, for me, that's just random, but I've got 11 labs, which allowed me to take 3 hours of my voice because I did a podcast. So I had plenty of, voice recording of me, and I put it up there and cloned my own voice. So I'm the one reading the book. So I'm not even taking away from somebody else's voice.
Very good. 11 Labs was a sponsor. They're going to be a sponsor again, so we don't mind saying that, right?
Yeah. So I use beep. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. I will send that to them as a little free bonus on the new deal.
There you go. And there's others out there now that do that, but I just think 11 Labs has the most functionality for creating all sorts of things. I use voices. I do little videos and just use a little voice at times for that, a couple words here and there. And again, it allows me to get those things done in a day rather than spending a week because, I got a job and writing and trying to do all the marketing. So it is a great tool for that for me.
If you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
How old do you think I am?
I'd say 40.
Nice. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's probably the video saw 55.
55. All right. Good. Well, everybody's young for me. So,
Yeah.
but how do you being 55 makes the question even more relevant. How do you keep your inner child alive when writing? I mean, so that you don't end up writing more mature than you have to be. How do you keep access to that?
Not just that, but your inner child may be a lot different or has a different experience than today's inner child.
Okay? Yes. That is way harder for me. So I think I've always been mostly a kid, which is why writing kids' books comes easier for me, I think. My kids will tell you that, they call me, I think that's something from Doctor Who, the intergalactic 12-year-old is what they call me. And it's like, I'm always doing the kids stuff, enjoying the kids stuff. Whereas once for a job, I went down to Tennessee and I stayed with my boss at his house. And I was sleeping in the kid's bed and I look over and she had a computer with some Dr. Seuss CDs. So he knocks on the door to check on me and I'm sitting there with my laptop playing a Dr. Seuss CD. And he's like, what are you doing? So I have that internally. And it's actually a side goal of mine is to get more adults to realize that we need to see the magic in the world. We need to be kids at times that, all this adult stress we have, a lot of it can be, shuffled off by enjoying life like a kid. See, people complain about the Star Wars movies. Well, don't go see it as if you're 45. Go see it as if you're 12. That's how I do it. And I, all the time. So that is the bigger thing. My kid experiences are different than kids now. So I have to get feedback as much as I can. Is this relevant to today's kids, or am I going off the rails?
Now, I have a friend of mine who's a huge Star Trek fan, but they are a Star Trek fan stuck in the 60s, I think.
Yeah.
And I'm being polite because I'm saying I think, because when they did the movies, did the original series, then they did the movies with the original cast, as many of them as they could. But then they went to the other Star Trek with
Next
Chris
Generation.
Pine and Zal. So they're playing younger versions or doing like origin stories of Star Trek. And he had difficulty. He goes, I can't watch that. I said, no. I said, separate the fact that, I said, just look at it in its own universe, its own world. That's it. Yep. Forget everything you know about the other characters. Watch this as if you've never seen it before. And it's not so bad.
Right.
No.
Agreed. And today's the anniversary of the original Star Trek airing on CBS.
Wow. Wow. That was now there was a different Kirk when it started, right? The
Chris Pine movies actually is a different universe, and they positioned it like that. So anything in the old universe wasn't destroyed, wasn't changed. They weren't changing the story because they created another universe. So it's like, well, we always have had other universes, so just go with it and enjoy it. Yeah, you're right.
Does that access, because I agree with you. I think we should all have access to our inner child at all times, and I think the world would be a better place. But has that ever caused you any being constantly in touch with the little kid inside you? Has that caused you any problems in life?
Well, that is a really good question. I think a lot of adults don't get it, and I think a lot of times they think of me as more immature or maybe not trustworthy. They just don't get it. It's like, I don't understand this guy. He's weird, but hey, the kids get it. I was a scoutmaster and I was a Girl Scout leader. And that was way fun because it was one of my friends from high school. We did it together. Our daughters were in it and their friends were in it. And we didn't follow the curriculum. We didn't I had these girls out in the snow doing tracking, and all the other Girl Scouts are like, you did what? And our girls are like, oh yeah. And one year we took the book. We said, this book sucks. We threw it away. And we built a dollhouse. I mean, we got wood, we got all the tools. We were in the art room at the school with saws and crap. And we built a dollhouse, and then we donated it to a local mental health thing for kids, for the kids in the waiting room to use and play with. And my girls still talk about that and how much they loved it. And I'm like, hey, we got much more out of it than all these girls that were doing, let's do some macaroni prints, and we signed something off in the book. And my girls were like, are you kidding me? This is crap.
Wow. All right, now getting to transgression of magic. First of all, magic it seems to be a title in the title of all your books, if I'm not mistaken.
For this series, yes.
We talk a lot about politics, current events, and all this stuff, and everything relates to that in some way. I think the theme of this book is bounty hunters coming to get a leader of, and it feels like there's some relevant, a leader of a magic society, or how would you categorize?
So our main hero, here's spoilers if you haven't read the first book. Our main hero is a kid, and he wants magic, discovers in book 1 he has magic. He becomes a town magician. That's like the top title other than Grand Wizard. And now the second book brings back his father. His father in the first book is a drunk and has caused this kid to feel, I can't do anything in my life. And that was a big part of the why he couldn't get in touch with his magic. Now that he's town magician, what happened with his father? That was my question. Where's his father go in this? And we find out that there's more to his father than we thought. There's a reason he's the drunk. There's a reason he stays away from magic. And this bounty hunter comes to get him and says, you've done crimes against magic. And Samuel, our hero, is like, wait a minute, he can't even do magic. And then his father does magic. So, a big problem for Samuel. His whole world turned upside down again. And they go on a journey to find out what's the truth and where is his father, because his father got taken away, but the Grand Magic Council doesn't know anything about it. So now they got to find out what's going on.
When you're writing, do you think in terms of delivering any kind of bigger message? And like, yes, you're writing to entertain, but on some level, are you trying to affect minds and kind of make people think about bigger picture things in society?
No, actually, those just come out of the story. And I think writing for kids is kind of natural when they come out. But you got to be careful too, because like for this one, people are like, well, you can't show somebody that's drunk. I'm like, kids deal with this every day. There's kids out there right now that you can't wait to get to school because they don't want to deal with their hungover parents. They don't want to come home because their parents are, I'm going to join sports because my parents are going to be drunk and I'll wait till they pass out to get home. Kids deal with this, but they're afraid and ashamed and they don't want to say anything and people don't know. And I've heard it so many times. It's like you see something in the book that's a reflection and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm not the only one. So it's a balance, and I learned this from R.L. Stine talking about his scary goosebumps. You want to put it in there that's scary, but you can't put like murders and death and stuff. So I had to put a drunk father, but not show him at being so mean. He yelled a couple times, not showing him drinking. Actually, he's already passed out, but there's alcohol close by, or actually just a turned over glass with some liquid. I don't really say. So you got to find some balance so the parents don't get upset. It's not the kids. The kids can handle it way more than the parents.
Now, I agree. Now, at the risk of sounding self-serving, for the most part, my comedy, that's what I try to do in my comedy. I try to bring out the things that I know many of us have experienced, but we keep it locked up in here and we don't want to talk about it. So I talk about my experience with with the alcohol, with the abuse and the alcoholism and the neglect and stuff like that. But I do it in a way that's kind of lighthearted, and people will identify. I've been through that, and as a matter of fact, like my current show that I'm working on now, I talk about my mother's rape. Ouch. And I do it in a way that, because it wasn't my mother's fault. It's not like she went out and said, please rape me. It happened. And then my mother for dozens and dozens of years, carried that with her, but not just with her, but it also affected the way she raised me. So I was raised totally different than the other kids, because I was the first. Well, I was the first post-rape child that she kept, So
that's not heavy at all.
No, I don't think so. But then again, I'm not working through it. I've worked through it, so I can discuss it in a lighthearted manner. But there are people who are still holding on to that stuff. Just bringing it up. Just bringing it up allows them to talk about it too.
I know we have a disclaimer, but I just want to say for anybody who might have heard between the lines there, when somebody is raped, it's never their fault. I just want to put that out.
Right, but some people believe it is.
I get that. I just want to.
And it's funny you bring up comedy and messages, because we talk science fiction. Me and a buddy, when we talk about geek stuff, it's like, and the reflections of our society and pointing out the problems in our society usually come from science fiction or from comedy, because they can get past the censorship that people have. It's like, oh, he's making a joke, but then you think about it, you're like, wow, that really hits home. And George Carlin's a great example too, that using society for the comedy, but pointing out then the problems. And sci-fi has always done that. Star Trek, the great example from that one was the people that were trying to kill each other, and they were the last ones left, when one was white and black, but the other guy was black and white, and they just hated each other. And everybody's looking at them like, but you're the same. No, I'm white.
My left side is white. Their left side is black.
Yes. And pointing out our society in the 60s at the time, it's like, look how ridiculous this is.
Right. Most authors live and die in terms of whether their book reaches people based on reviews. Now, I'm wondering how you do with reviews, and who would be reviewing, the parents or the kids? Because I would be interested in hearing the reviews of elementary school kids and hearing. You get those?
I would love to hear more elementary school kid reviews, but it's the parents because it's usually an Amazon account or Goodreads account. And it's really hard. Parents get the book and I'm like, hey, if you liked it, I'd love a review. It would help a lot. And people don't realize that, that they say, oh, I want to support authors. I want to support local authors. I liked your book. I want to get it. My kids loved it. Take 5 seconds and just go click some stars, put a, hey, we like this. My 5-year-old liked it. My 8-year-old read this whole thing in a weekend. Because the algorithms are based on that a lot. So if people are buying it and reviewing it, it gets pumped up. It doesn't cost anything to do that for an author, not just me, any author out there. Do that for every book you read. Go give it some review. Do it on multiple places if they sell it multiple places, because that's how the algorithm figures out who to give it to. More people, if we can't afford voice actors, how the heck do you think we can afford advertising? Yeah. This is like the best way to get it and help people out.
Absolutely. I've been pulling the curtain back on the publishing industry. I worked for a period of time in publishing and helping people boost books, and I was explained exactly the method that they use to get algorithms to push your work. Part of it is reviews, but a big part of it is trickery. What happens, and I don't know how this would work with a children's book, but they will release a book in a category that is not the category it's going to be in, like home and garden or whatever, home improvement, whatever, these kind of things, cooking, and just put it in there, which where nobody who really is in the market for that book is going to find it. But they have a mailing list of people who they give the book to for free, download it for free. We'll put a $0 price on it, so you can go there, download it for free, leave us a review, a positive review, and Amazon and all these online outlets, they put more weight on if you can a verified buyer. So if you downloaded it for $0, you're a verified buyer. So they leave a review. You get all these reviews. Once you get enough reviews to get it to bestseller, then you pull the switch. You put a price on it. You put it in a category that it's actually going to be in, and you already got the reviews. Now the algorithm thinks it's an important book and show it to people. It's really dirty.
Yeah. And it's also a more short-term strategy, because what happens is all those people that were getting that book, when it's free, as opposed to when you have to pay for it, that's 2 different lists now. So it does not help the rankings as much. You get lower, and you do have all those reviews, but you also get people that are like, oh, this is not what I thought. So you'll get a lot of reviews, but maybe lower ones. And then it only lasts a short time, because all those like people who bought this also like this. Once you move categories, it's showing it to like all the wrong people, and then it goes down. So and unfortunately, I bet it's really doing okay for people that just write books telling AI, hey, write me a book. Great. Publish it. I'll do another one tomorrow. I don't care about rankings after 2 or 3 days.
Right. And
unfortunately.
The AI is also helping with all that ranking and algorithm stuff and putting it's just really, it's not fair to old school authors who actually put the work in and all that. They're rigging the system, and it's not pretty, but it's kind of like the music business used to be with payola. You're paying to get your hit record made a hit.
Right.
Whether it's got quality or not. So.
And I'm really working hard locally against that by trying to do author visits, library visits. I set up at the local farmers market. I work with the Writers Fest locally. I'm trying to get into schools and meet the people directly and try and get them on my list, and now not relying so much on just Amazon or Drafted Digital or whatever.
That's very smart. And I'll just add this comment that I follow a lot of authors groups because we do so many authors interviews, and authors are very supportive, but they rarely talk about thinking out of the box marketing. What they talk about is the craft of writing and all, and they share all this stuff, but nobody is really talking about how do we break the glass ceiling here on marketing so our books are being seen by people and they can decide for themselves if it's worth buying or not. It's just a really tough thing. And
Right.
you know what, you talk about comedians and musicians, it's creative arts wise and making a success of it. Authorship is by far the most competitive and hardest to break through and get visual.
And a lot of authors, they don't want to do the business marketing stuff, but they can't afford to pay somebody. So they're just like, they do stupid things. Like I've been to an author conference where it's a bunch of authors learning the craft, learning publishing, wanting to do that. And there's some guy set up with his first mystery book. Well, you guys all write books. I wrote a book, buy my book. No, we're all here to write books, not buy your book. So they don't think right. And the biggest thing is marketing has not changed in hundreds or thousands of years. You got to get the product in front of people multiple times for them to see it and be comfortable with it. And then they'll buy it. And that's, I'm focusing local to do that right now on social media, getting out, everything. I'm really trying to focus local so that the parents and teachers, you know what? That book looks interesting, but they don't realize the reason they think it looks interesting is because that's the 25th video or post or image that they've seen with my logo on it. So.
Now, are you doing the covers and all are yourself, or you have somebody doing that?
No, I've got somebody that. So the covers I love my covers. The cover was done by a guy named Tom Zoller. He lives in Cleveland, really close to me. He was involved with the My Little Pony reboot from about 12, 13 years ago. So he's a real famous artist. He's got his own graphic novels and stuff out. I love the style for these books. And then I got somebody that made it look better with fonts and, layout and that, because I'm really not good. And Amazon's given templates suck really bad. So, I do that. I've got another series coming out that I'm still trying to find the right artist to capture what I want for those books. Right. But there's another example. I use AI for the cover picture for my free stories, because again, Tom charges me several $100s for a picture. This is a free story. I'm already losing money. So
I don't have any problem with using AI as a tool. GD might have a little bit of different perspective on that, but I use it frequently a lot, and I'm going to be probably in between guests.
I try and balance it. I absolutely want to involve other artists and pay for them, because I want people to pay for my book, but I also got to look at my business side and what's realistic for what I'm doing too, unfortunately.
One last question on the book, and then I have to ask you about the wolf. But okay, so this is the second in the series. Do kids need to read the first book to appreciate the second book?
It can stand alone, but you miss out about Samuel's journey to become the town magician. You miss out meeting Toby the Grand Wizard and his cat named Cat, and learning why this is a big deal with his father. So, it's kind of like the Harry Potter books. You could read book 3 because it's its own individual story for that year, but you really miss out on all the stuff that happened to book 1 and 2 to build up to 3.
Yeah. Tell us about the wolf. How did you get the wolf? Did you find him as a pup? How does that happen?
He's a hybrid. He's 75% Sarloose wolf. My ex-wife rescued him. He was born with missing some bones in his forepaw, so his leg doesn't bend right. And they were going to put him down, and she happened to be at the right place at the right time and said, what is he, vicious and stuff? So there's the first thing. Wolves are not evil, vicious creatures. That's fiction. That's what we see in Little Red Riding Hood. They're really very friendly, very pack, lovable family animals. Once you're a part of his pack, he will treat you like you're part of his pack, and nothing to fear with him. He's a great guy.
Yeah,
but
obviously. People think of the monster, the wolf, the monster, but all your family dogs are descendants of wolves.
Yeah.
So
and We even pick on him because he loves his belly rubs. He'll roll on his back, and we're like, you know what, Hunter? All the other wolves are laughing at you. But so my ex-wife rescued him, and then when she and I split up, I kept him because she didn't have any good place to put him. So he's my writing muse. I tell him that all the time. I'm like, hey man, you're earning your keep. But I think it's good because the kids are interested. That's part of it. Unfortunately, truthfully, he's marketing. If I tell kids I have a wolf, hey, look at the picture of my wolf, look at this video of my wolf, they're like, oh, I love that, tell us about your wolf. Great. Yeah. And you know what, I write stories with my wolf in it. So yeah, it seems a little skeezy, but it's good for him because it brings me over there to get pictures more often.
It's not. I don't think of it as skeezy, only because it is your wolf. Exactly. It's not like you went out and got the wolf for this purpose. It's your wolf, and it's serving a purpose. That would be like me.
Wolf to market my.
That would be like me saying. That would be like me having a kid, so I would have material to write about fatherhood, as opposed to I'm a father, and now I'm going to write about it in my comedy.
Yeah.
Right. And he's well treated. People ask all sorts of questions. The kids love that. What's his fur like? He's an outdoor dog. Well, yeah, because we've had him indoors. He destroys everything. He ate his way through a cage before. So, I like my furniture. He's very happy outside. He has a doghouse for shelter, and he'll sleep on the ground. He'll wake up and shake off all the snow,
All right.
Now, does he still okay, I'm asking because when I moved into the neighborhood where I am now 4 years ago, we had a cat that was he ate, there were no living creatures near us. Even the foxes, when they saw my cat, went around our property. They wouldn't cut through. They avoided my cat. And so when I moved in and I knew my cat was like that, I sent out pictures of my cat to my neighbors and said, look, let me know if my cat is in your yard attached, whatever. And I will, I said, if you see my cat, you don't want him in your yard, spray him with a bottle of water. He knows that means not to come back. Okay. So, and my neighbors were right back. And someone said, no, we are growing lettuce. He keeps the rabbits out of our yard. So my cats, then they knew about, so he still had my thing is, he still had his killer instinct and he was using it to the benefit of the neighborhood. Is your wolf like that in your neighborhood?
That's funny you say that. Because he wasn't used to me at first. I had to be a little more cautious with him. I would feed him and he would eat it. But if I went back close to him while he was eating, I'd get a sidelong glance and a growl, and occasionally a snap.
Wow.
So he is still a wolf. You have to understand that. But now I feed him, I can hug him, I can pet him. He's fine with that. He knows that I'm the alpha and I'm giving him his food. He's good with that. The one thing a couple years ago that scared me was he wasn't moving. He was just sitting in one spot, even when I fed him. And I went up to him and he growled at me. And I'm like, oh, what's going on? Because this doesn't happen anymore. And so I kept checking on him throughout the day. He didn't move all day and he just kept growling. And then he was whimpering. And I was like, oh, what's going on? So I said, oh man, did something happen? His paw snap and whatever with the bad spot and whatever. And I called my ex and said, hey, come over. I don't know what's wrong with him. And so I said, I think he broke his foot and he can't walk because he hasn't moved all day long. And he's growling and snapping at me and whimpering. He's whimpering. That's what makes me think he's hurt. So she came over and got out of the truck and he sees her and he jumps up and comes running. And I'm like, what the hell, you dumb dog? What it was, I had given him a bone the night before.
I was about to say, I was about to say, I think he's passing a bird.
Yeah, he was protecting it. So I learned, I'm like, okay, when you give him a bone, you still got to stay away. He's protecting it. And he buries them and he'll dig them up months later. So yeah, he's still wild.
I want to get me a wolf. Well, we appreciate you being on the program. We have to move along. I'm sorry, time is short, but name of the book is Transgression of Magic. You can go to Stephen's website. It's Schneider.com. And you don't have to do all the rest of the books. There's links that will get you there. There's a long thing, but there's a link in the description to make it easy for people. Stephen, I appreciate you being part of the program. Good luck with the books. And if you want to come back when you do your next one, we're here for you.
I would love to. You guys have been great. I love the conversation. And my next series, I think it'd be fun to talk about because it's a investigative group of siblings investigating like Bigfoot and cryptids and stuff. So I'd love to chat with you about that.
Very cool. We appreciate you being here. Have a great day, and thanks for coming in.
Thank you, guys.
All right, now take care.
Stephen A. Schneider. There you go. The link's in the description. I'm going to take that out. I think that guy in the chat room, or that person in the chat room, was sent here. Who sent you? You know, by the enemy. Anyway.
Well, I don't know about the enemy, but yeah, it's. And you're welcome, S.A. He just thanked us.
S.A. What are you, Puerto Rican? What Mexican? What are you? What is that? Okay, S.A. I'm sorry.
I do want to answer one of his questions, one of Comet's questions.
Right.
I just had to find it. He asked, oh, here it is. And it goes, why did GD ask Hackride to go on with Blind Mike? That's the question. And you'll get the answer after we talk to our guest.
Well, I answered that in the chat room yesterday because basically I said I asked you to do that because you told me you invited Mike on your show. He declined, and I remember saying to you, you should go on his show because he had suggested it to me. And then I think at that point you went and asked him.
That's pretty much what I was going to try to say. I just didn't remember the exact order. And also Tom Myers also tried to get me on there before.
Right.
And so yeah, it wasn't out of the blue.
Characterized it. Here's what they said. They said Blind Mike asked you, and I'm sorry to even say his name here. He asked you to be on the show, and you said you have no interest in that. And 15 seconds later, Hackride got an email from you asking to be on the show. And it's like,
and that's not what I said. What I said was because he reached out to me through you, and I said he has my contact. He can reach out to me directly.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah. So the mischaracterization is there. Our next guest is here, but before we do that, I want to, because I teased this just a minute ago, like anybody was listening. I released a new video. Now, I'm going directly to short because it's less than 3 minutes. YouTube expanded what a short could be. So I actually edited this video because the song was under 3 minutes, and I started as a short. So I'm just going to share this video. And while I do that, I'm going to change computers and move over to a better, more comfortable computer. So let me see. Here's a video I want to share. This is a kind of a grim topic with a happy sound to it.
I wanna die, 'cause the world's too fucking crazy. I gotta cry at the headlines that amaze me. I wanna run to a place that's cool and quiet. I'm really done, and every day I want to ride. I won't hurt myself, store my box upon your shelf. Wish I was someone else, 'cause I'm too much of a pussy. Ooh, he's too much of a pussy. Thank you, girl. He's too much of a pussy. Okay, that's good. He's too much of a pussy. I A6 that stuff now. I wanna leave, 'cause I really, really hate it here. I can't breathe as I live my life in fear. I need to hide reality so stressful as I defy the demons that I wrestle. Yo, I won't hurt myself, store my box upon your shelf. Wish I was someone else, 'cause I'm too much of a pussy. Ooh, he's too much of a pussy. Okay, that's good. He's too much of a pussy. A6, that stuff now. I'm letting go. I wanna go, but I know full well I'm going to hell. I'm too much of a pussy. He's too much of a pussy. Thank you, girl. He's too much of a pussy. Okay, that's good. He's too much of a pussy. Alright, A6, that stuff now.
All right. Oh, I'm getting a little echo.
Yeah.
Why? Why am I getting echo? You know?
I don't hear the echo, but it does sound like a reverb, like you went into a tunnel.
Wow. Yeah. You know what? Let me just before we move. Our next guest is here, so I can't talk. Switching computer, internal microphone. That's why. Come on.
For those of you who are,
1 2 1 2.
that's different. That's better. Yes.
That's better, but I still have echo. Let me see.
I don't hear the echo here. Do you have more than one browser open?
Oh, I know why. Excuse me while I kiss the sky. That's better. Okay.
Yeah.
Back to normal. I apologize. Somebody who was part of the enemies. They were attacking me on Twitter, saying they love the technical issues that we have here. You know what? It's part of the joke here, running joke about how many technical issues we have here. Anyway, now here's the part that Steven said he couldn't wait for me to pronounce our guest name. Zexzi.
I think it's supposed to sound like sexy.
Yeah, I get that part. Zexi, born. Here we go. You ready with the clip?
Not yet. Should I do it now?
You should get ready. Well,
I'm ready.
Zexi, born UFO Williams.
Please stand by. We are having difficulties pronouncing foreign names. Please stand by. Please stand by. We are having difficulties pronouncing foreign names. Please stand by.
All right. He's a Nigerian-born singer and songwriter who blends Afrobeat, pop, R&B, and rap into his music. His songs are known for their emotional depth and unpredictable nature. Zexi's music is driven by his desire to inspire and motivate others and to tell his story. He cites Michael Jackson, Tupac, and Notorious B.I.G. as influences. They're all dead. Anyway, good morning, Zexi.
Good morning, sirs. It feels good to be here. Thank you so much.
Do you know my dead uncle?
No, I don't.
Well, most people in Nigeria, I think everybody else in Nigeria does, because I get emails every day from somebody in Nigeria who knows my dead uncle who loves me.
I had to ask: Are you tired of the stereotype of that every Nigerian is like a prince waiting to be discovered and asking? Because I mean,
how many princes do they have? One country. How many princes do you need?
But that's the funny thing. There are so many tribes, and every tribe has a king. You could have up to 3 kings in one state, and we have 36 states with the Federal Capital Territory, just like you have DC. So the Federal Capital Territory is in Abuja, but we have 36 official states, and there are so many kings. But yeah, it's I don't get mad at the stereotype. It is what it is. Yes, a lot of that stuff happens. But I the way I see it is about those of us who have great things to offer the world is to keep pushing the great things that we have to give and ensure that the stereotype, because bad news makes the rounds much more easily than good news. So I've learned that every group of people, like when I go on Twitter, there are Black Americans attacking white Americans attacking Black Americans, and everyone sometimes, you have Africans attacking Black Americans attacking Africans, and everybody wants to use the lowest, the lowest of the lows of every group to represent them. And but I think it behooves every group, the great people in every group, to stand up and do what is great about them, and then show the world that it's not just the stereotype of what you hear. There's
Yeah.
a different side to it. It's For me, I'm an eclectic musician, and
I think we're on the same page as far as people are all people. It doesn't matter where you're from or what color your skin is or what. People are people wherever you go.
yeah,
That should
right.
be a song. Uh, anyway, so but with your story, did you come over to America? I'm assuming you're in America. As CG pointed out, I have no idea that you're in America. Just because it says you were born in Nigeria doesn't mean you're in America. Are you? You're in America now?
I'm actually in America. I'm in New York.
Okay. When did you come over? As a child or as an adult?
I came as an adult. I came about 3 years ago. 2 years plus now. Yeah, that's because for me, I wanted to experience, like most of my greats, apart from the legends that also influenced me in Nigeria, like Fela, Nicola Bokuti, Two Face, Idibia. I have so many greats that also came from here in America, and then also some from the Caribbean, like Bob Marley, and Shabarangs, and some of those great dancehall artists that I listened to when I was growing up as a child. So I just wanted to feel like that. Sometimes you hear about the hood in Nigeria, and then you just want to. Some of the rappers, from famous rappers, are from the hood, and you just want to go there and see, you know, Black Americans do their thing, play basketball and all that, and you'd be like, yeah, these are my people. So I wanted to come here. Of course, the media here is much more uh, globally staged. So there's much more attention for anything that is coming from here to the whole world. So I wanted to be part of that, and that was why I came. I have my sound engineer here in New York, so we work together on my songs and all that. So those are some of the reasons why I came.
Our friend Sunshine says you have a beautiful smile. He has a sexy smile. Come on, get with.
Thank you.
Uh,
Now, I have a question now. Because of the way things are going with immigration in our country right now,
Mhm.
first of all, do you have like a when I was growing up, we had emergency contacts in case something happened to us in school or at work. Do you have like an emergency contact in case things should happen? No, I'm just
I
saying,
got an email from his emergency contact. Hold on, wait a second.
just absolutely insane. And I can't imagine being here legally or illegally, with or without a visa, because they don't care anymore. Just being
Yeah.
different seems to be enough.
Yeah.
Does that weigh on your mind while you're here?
I don't know. I'm
If
very,
you haven't
very.
been bummed out by it, I'm sorry to bring it up.
But yeah, I really don't. I think I'm very, very positive minded about a lot of things. It's not like I don't see what's going on.
Right.
I see exactly what's happening on the streets. In fact, if you listen to one of the songs on my album, the 27th track on my album I just dropped on the 29th of August, it's titled So Much. And I was just talking about all of the things that are happening in the world, the border crossings, the war in Ukraine, and NATO closing its door to Ukraine, and AI taking over and all that. So I see all of those things. But I really, when they say clear conscience fears no accusation. So I don't really, because I know that I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not committing crime. I know that even if you bundle me up today and you ask me questions, whatever you ask me, I'll be able to provide. And I know that I'm not doing anything illegal by being here.
Yeah,
Because
I appreciate that, but a lot of people who aren't doing anything illegal are feeling fear, and if you're listen, this is a whole political thing that I don't really want to get into. I want to talk about your music. But if you're scared and you're already scared because of the news is scaring you, whatever, and then you're confronted by a person in authority, you're going to get nervous, and then you're going to look like a criminal, even though you're not. It's a really bad place that we're in, and I don't know when it's going to end. Hopefully, be before I die. That's all.
Yeah, but I think it's I've had to deal with law enforcement once or twice, but I think approach matters a lot for me. I don't think there's any human being you approach respectfully that except they are really really bad people
Yeah.
that won't reason with you and try to see where you're coming from and what the true situation is. So for me, I think we now live in a world where respect seems to be a luxury, and people want to just people there are even people who want to disrespect you and think that you don't even have a right to disrespect them back. Like they just have that inherent right to disrespect. It's just a one-way street for them. And then when you place a mirror before them and you do exactly what they're doing to you to them, then it becomes disrespectful.
Yeah.
But I think when I walk into a room, for example, I want to say good morning first. I want to, try to be nice to everybody, except you show me the other side. That's why I'm an eclectic musician. I'm an eclectic human being too. I pretty much give people a mirror and show them what
That's
they what they
good
show
for
me.
you. Good for you. That's a great attitude to have. I want to ask you about, because of these influences. Michael is probably not surprising. I would think everywhere in the world, Michael Jackson was known. A little bit more Tupac, Notorious B.I.G., people like this. Were you exposed to that music growing up in Nigeria, or was like had?
There was no public transportation you would take where Tupac music wasn't played. Like even folks that that were not really like in school, they just felt the music, and you see them like bumping their heads and just enjoying the music. So Tupac was a staple. Like his picture Big. It was so bad when I was a kid. I used to remember like the older guys that would go play football, and then there was a Biggie camp and a Tupac camp, and sometimes they would resort to fisticuffs just because someone said Biggie was better than Tupac. No, Tupac is better than and it would lead to fights and. But it was just it was that huge of a deal in Nigeria back then.
Wow.
So even when I started to, you know, grow into becoming a musician, I kind of listened to those classics, and just the rhyme scheme and all of those things helped me to build my own writing skills. I mean, Big had the rhymes, and Tupac had some great life lessons and stories to tell. So all of those guys, helped shape my own becoming of a musician, as it were, when I was coming up.
Do you play an instrument?
No, I don't.
Wow.
But here's the thing. Like in my head, if you listen to the album, you'll hear a jazz song. I hear sounds, and I know the type of instrument that will bring out that sound. So what I do is, oh, okay, I know the saxophonist, or somebody knows the saxophonist, and I tell him, can you play? Ba-da-ba-ba, 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 ba-ba-da. And then he comes, he plays it, and it sounds very nice, like the jazz song on the album. I called the saxophonist, I gave him the ideas, like, okay, let the chorus be. And then,
Perfect.
he laid it on the microphone, and we mixed it. It came out so great. That's the jazz song on the album. It's titled Beach Waves. Um, and then there's this other one titled Tranquility. It was just me in my Beethoven, mood. I was actually cleaning my home in Lagos when that sound was just coming like and then, I called somebody who could play the violin. He came, and when we were done, it was like, I don't know. But that's just me. The songs come to me. I find the best way to interpret them, to bring them out. I just, first of all, I record it on my phone, and then I know the right producer to give it life.
Love it.
Because I see the music, I see from top to bottom. I know what it will sound like if it's properly done. So I start to make sure that everything is in the right place, like a formula of some sort, where you know that 2 + 2 is going to give you 4. And sometimes the producer comes in and he thinks, oh, if we're going to try what you want to try, but if it doesn't give us the right result, I think I have what's in my mind to do to get us to the right point.
Excellent answer, because it leads me right into where I was. The way Michael worked a lot. He would sing parts to musicians. He didn't necessarily have to play them, but he also had some great producers. Even from being very young, before he met Quincy Jones, was working with some great producers that could help him achieve those sounds. Now, coming from Nigeria to New York, I'm assuming New York was your first stop. Did you did you already have a relationship with a producer in New York? Or did you have to find one? Tell me about how you surrounded yourself with a producer or a recording situation here, knowing that would support you in working in that way.
Okay, I already had a relationship with the producer. I already knew him from Nigeria, was already working on my stuff. So when I came, it was more like, just meeting him for the first time, like, oh man, finally we get to see each other, even if we've been talking on the phone. And then I just kind of like settled into that. And he has understood my creative process for a long time. So it wasn't a thing where there's this friction or a clash of ideas. What I usually did was just laid bare. This is how I think this music should be, and then he starts to come up with his own other sounds, complementary sounds, to make the music great. And then when we have everything that we need, we know what to bring down, we know what to elevate. Um, so it was a very smooth transition for me. I didn't have any problems because I already had a relationship with him coming from Nigeria.
Very cool. And now, because a lot of that could go not according to plan and be very frustrating, especially when somebody is new to you and you. I'm just assuming a little bit of a clash of cultures involved there. So good for you to. Now I want to talk about your look because it seems to me, and I'm not judging at all. I'm sharing this look here. We have every sound there. And you got kind of almost like a superhero type of outfit on. I've had lots of people in R&B and hip hop. This is the style we're going with. First of all, the guy. This is you on the cover. Is this you on the cover?
Yes, sir.
Are you cut up like that? Buff? You're a gym guy?
Exactly. That's exactly how I look.
Where the wardrobes and stuff I'm assuming this is real wardrobe stuff, not AI doing this.
Yeah.
You probably spend as much on wardrobe as you do on recording music. Yes.
Yeah. I okay. When it comes to costumes, right? You see the way Michael Jackson would, the way he dresses. When he walks into a room, you can't ignore him. Same with Elvis Presley. So for me, somebody once told me when I was much younger that, okay, there's a difference between being a superstar and being a cultural icon. That Michael Jackson is a cultural icon, Elvis Presley is a cultural icon, Bob Marley is a cultural icon, Fela is a cultural icon, and that kind of stuck to me that I just don't want to be a superstar. I wanted to be a cultural icon, and that kind of started to shape my mind as to how I wanted to present myself. Sometimes I still walk into the park till today when I wear my jaw stuff and some other things, and everybody just turns and look at me. That's because I don't have dreadlocks too. draw attention to myself. I don't have.
You borrow his. Borrow his.
Exactly. I don't have. Yes, because when you have dreads, naturally
Those are
people
too
will see you
white.
because you look different.
Those are too
Especially-
gray or white or something. You need
That's.
to dye them. You need to get my mustache dye and put them all in.
I mean, your own mustache too is very unique. So,
Yeah.
as a musician, you want something that people would tie to you and say, "Okay, this is it.
Clearly.
This is who he is. He sees himself as a super, and I actually see myself as a superhero. Like I have kids. When I went to Kenya for a radio interview, and the kid was with his mom, and it was like the mom told me, said, my kid is asking me if you're some sort of superhero, and I kind of liked that reaction because it that mindset helps me to overcome a lot of things, a lot of obstacles that people throw at me when people say, how do you think you're just gonna go to America? You know how competitive the music industry is. Do you think you can make it there? But that mindset of thinking of myself as a superhero tells me that if others could not surmount it, I will be able to surmount it.
Yeah. I think of myself as a super zero, but that's um what is the music industry today? Because I don't even because we had an author on before, and I made a very bold statement in saying that authorship was very difficult to succeed in because there's so many new publications every day, and you're almost invisible. But I'm not discounting music is a very difficult. There's no record companies to really stand behind you. You create your own record company now. You are your own marketing department. It's very similar to the frustrations that authors face. Are you performing out? Do you go and take the music out on the road when you're done recording it?
Yeah, I do that once in a while, but we focus more on using social media, like my record label focuses more on using social media, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, um,
Spotify.
using
You're on.
content. Yeah, of course, all digital streaming platforms.
Do you get
Um,
inundated with Spotify produce whatever they influencers who are going to help you get in all these playlists and get you 5,000 views an hour or whatever? I get and I only have a very small catalog on Spotify. All day long I'm getting emails or phone calls, spam calls from people, direct messages. They're going to help me get my music out. Have you fallen for any of them? I'm not falling for it. Do you get inundated with that?
yeah, I do. My label gets a lot of emails, influencers. Everybody wants to like it's almost like a money grab. And the way the music industry is now, it has to take a great deal of luck. If you don't have an industry machine behind you, like the UMGs and the Sony Music and the Atlantic Records, if you don't have them behind you constantly pushing your image in people's faces, it's going to take a great deal of luck to have, a lucky break. Maybe your song goes viral on TikTok, and then people start to stream the song more, and then maybe a big label would then come and say, okay, let's put more money behind this. You sign with us, come to some sort of partnership. Even now, I learned that some people that are even with the big labels, some of them still don't get funded. They are just there. They release music, no, but they don't really get the support that they think a big label should give them. So the big labels now just allow you to float, and if you can survive and one of your song becomes has major traction, that's when they come and really give you resources to push it forward. So it's like a lucky dip right now. I mean,
Yeah.
you see on my album, the album is titled Every Sound, and you see what I have there is that album is the most eclectic album in the world. It has jazz, it has Afrobeats, it has Afro pop, it has EDM, it has R&B, pop music, rock and roll, and merengue, salsa. Like different genres of music, even classical music.
Well, one of the benefits of there being no real music industry like record companies anymore is you can do that because not too long ago, when there were corporations running everything in music, they wanted to put you in a box and you could not diversify. Your album had to be all identifiable, one style of music, just to please one audience. And now you have the freedom to do that. I'm not sure it helps you grow. It helps you grow as an artist, but marketable, I'm talking finance wise, I'm not sure it helps because the algorithms still love to identify you. Oh, we know he's this. These are the people we need to show it to.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Now,
yeah,
the mentality behind that is
the
the
entire world has
West.
become algorithm driven, and that's
Yes,
not a good thing.
and we understand that. So of course, they still like when we're going to release the album, we're asked which is your focus track. Um, we still went with the Amapiano song. Amapiano is a South African genre of music. We went with the Amapiano song on the album titled Higher. That's because there are more Afrobeat songs on the album than any other genre. You have like 8 to 9 Afrobeat songs. So the thing we do with that album is, I mean, there are people who have 6 tracks on an album. There are people who have 8 tracks on an album. So it's like having a full Afrobeat album, and then you have complementary tracks. You have like I had 2 hip hop songs there. I had 1 jazz song. I had 1 classical song. I had about 3 to 4 pop songs. I had 1 rock song. Like that. Merengue one, salsa one. So what we did was, like, if you had a departmental store and you had aisle one with farm equipment, aisle two with kitchen equipment or kitchen installations, whatever. That's kind of the mentality we used in building this album. Go into the album, it's every sound. If you like jazz music, go for beach waves. If you like classical music, go for tranquility, or maybe you want to meditate. And this is the important part that I think the music industry fails to understand. No musician is monolithic and just want to express himself in one way. You have a side of you sometimes that feel like you're Tupac today, and then the other side feels like it's R. Kelly tomorrow. You're just in your R&B mode, and the other side feels like you're Usher the next day, and the other side feels like you're Brian Adams, a rock star the other day. So when you say people should express themselves in just one way, what you've done is that you've cut off most parts of them that is yearning for expression. I grew up on different genres of music, and all of these genres have shaped my own creative style. I get songs in reggae, I get songs in dancehall, I get songs in pop music. So am I just going to throw them away even if they sound so good? And I think that they can compete with the best of the music from that genre. I mean, try and take a listen to the album. You hear the rock song. Somebody told me like this could actually be a Coldplay hit, and
I get it, man. I feel like I don't know when exactly it started to happen, but the record companies wanted to stifle the artistic spirit of artists. In other words, we heard your one single that that got us to sign you. Now we want you to sound like that forever, and don't ever tap into your other influences. I think that's bad for culture. I think that's bad for art in general. But at some point, the money machine started to do that to artists, and they fell into that, and then every artist started doing that. So it's in some ways it's good that that establishment got blown up. But in other ways, especially when the big money, and you have people like Spotify who are just taking advantage and ripping artists off and just making all the money and not sharing any of it with the artists. That's a bad thing. So there's pros and cons to everything.
yeah, no, now even think about the fact that
Yeah.
when a black person even does country music these days, he's seen as being out of the box. I
Yeah.
mean, this is music that we know that black people were always like the progenitors of country music, and they start, and because you've so gate kept everybody in different pigeonholes, when they even step into something they created, you try to make them feel like this is not your place. So I think if every musician would rebel against, yeah, I know, I understand that when you're with some labels, your hands are tied. But I think if every musician would really rebel and say, I'm going to do what I want to do, I'm
It's
going to
so
sound how I
funny.
want to sound. I mean, everybody's going to be like, okay, yes, let's just accept them, and let's make a business model out of this new style of doing things, rather than
Yeah.
you're black, you can only be hip hop, you can only be wild.
Well,
We want you to be wild. And then it goes into the larger frame of things, which is why does a certain group of people have to be made to be very calm and cool and do that type of music, and these other people have to be extremely wild to be
prejudice,
black,
man. It's all
you
prejudice.
know?
Yeah.
I honestly believe that it's the it's based on what they're afraid of. For example, I watch if I grew up with Afro beats, but not because of a direct connection to Africa. It's because my step grandfather, that was his music,
Step
and
grand.
Mm,
yeah, and so that was his music, and we'd have these jam sessions. My grandfather and his friends and my stepfather would have these parties at our house, and when our house would be full of congas and bongos, and I mean all these percussion instruments, and maybe one bass and a guitar and a harmonica, but there'd be like 4 or 5 percussionists in the house, and that's what I grew up with. No, no 4/4 time signatures, no, just music.
yeah.
And so that's like in the back of my head when I write still.
Hmm.
But and I only mention this because people, but how should I put it? When people watch videos, I'm trying to get the right way. I want to say this. African movements, African music, when you see the videos of us in our little circles, in our drum circles and stuff, to people who don't know about that, when they see the garbs and the feathers and the outfits, that scares some people,
Mm,
and they're like, okay, we like the rhythm, but
hmm.
can you do it without the attitude? Can you do
Oh,
it without the stomping the feet and the blowing the can you just like whiteify it for us?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whiteify it. Whiteify it.
Whiteify it.
Yeah, but just coming back to what you were saying about country music, people forget almost every I shouldn't say now, but 20 years ago, almost every country artist, white country artist, would say they were influenced by Ray Charles. Ray Charles in 1964, black man who had an album out called Modern Sounds in Country and Western Music. And almost every white country artist was influenced by Ray Charles. But the market still said, no, it's weird to have a black guy in country music. It's just like, what? Open your eyes.
Yeah, and I sometimes it really really frustrates me when I see how much level of control that people want to exert, and not just let things flow and let water take its level, right? If there is this black country musician, this black American that I follow on Facebook. I see him. I always like his videos because he's coming up, he's doing his thing. He posted a video 2 days ago and said they couldn't pay Morgan Wallen, so they had to pay Morris. So he was blowing his horns and he was doing his thing, and I just like the fact that he has refused to be put in this box where he has to be this wild young man, and he doesn't. If people who want to express themselves that way, it's fine. Those who want to express themselves as country musicians, whether black or white, they should be free to do it. And if we keep that label on ourselves and say, oh, you know what, I'm black, I'm not supposed to do that, I'm supposed to be like this. Who told you you're supposed to be like this? Like, just for me, I just think for myself. If this thing sounds good, it works well for me, it satisfies my soul, that's what I'm gonna do. If somebody who is a gatekeeper somewhere thinks it's not cool, that's good for him. I mean, there are people who will tell me, "Oh, I don't like this song of yours. I don't like that one." I said, "No problem," but I like it. I
I
like
want to
all
hear
my
an
songs.
album of Jewish horrors by a guy who looks like GD. Like GD just doing his first album should be Hava Nagila.
I'm working on a version of that, but I'm using honestly I am. Because well, I told you I'm working on the Godfellas,
Godfellas.
and I'm using, I'm doing a mash of Italian mob music and horrors. I'm mashing them together.
Wow. Yeah, so that would be interesting. I'm not saying it would be a commercial success, but
it won't be. But we'll be part of the soundtrack though.
Maple Grove Entertainment, is that your company?
That's the record label I'm signed into.
Okay. Now, are you the only artist on Maple Grove Entertainment?
Yep, for now.
What about Quavo? Is Quavo on there?
No. Quavo is with Republic.
Okay, Quavo. Sorry, Quavo.
Yeah, Quavo is with Republic Music. I mean, the music industry is way too expensive. Like, if you want to sign more people, you're gonna need millions of dollars to run it.
Yeah.
I mean, just sometimes we shoot videos. Before you conclude everything, $25,000 is already down. And there's more to do, and you need to buy more clothes, and you need to pay for accommodation, and it's just way too expensive. So until that artist pops off and it's doing well, and it's now making money back that you can use to reinvest and bring other people in, it's
so
not really
weird.
a wise investment to just spread it out.
Before you were born here, before you were born there, but before you were born here in America, DJs would go to jail for charging people to play their music. It was called payola on the radio. Now, every day I get people offering, we'll get you on stuff on the radio. One of the emails I got the other day, and it just floored me, is just for $35,000 we can help get you a million streams or whatever, and heard by a million people or whatever. And I'm just like, how do you expect a new artist to come up with $35,000 to invest in a hope and a dream and not really have any? It's just crazy. I mean, how you would go about trying to make it in the music business today is mind-boggling. And they're doing payola, which was a crime, is now out in the open, and they just do it in broad daylight. Go ahead, pay us to make it a hit.
Well, maybe again, I'm not an expert in this, but when they were doing payola, the airwaves belonged to the people. Now it sounds like what they're doing is on platforms that don't belong to the people. It's like Spotify does not belong to the people. YouTube does not belong to the people, but the airwaves belong to the people. Maybe that's the difference. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there because
that could be. But it's sturdy anyway. And how was the young artist who's trying to just get some exposure to their music, their art that they create, hoping that somebody will enjoy it, consume it, and it will mean something to them. And then trying to reach people becomes really impossible, or it's like as Zexy said, it takes a lot of
how I see it.
Takes a lot of luck.
Yeah, how I see it now is the industry is so because of the streaming platforms. I mean, I heard that Spotify receives more than 100,000 songs every day, and then that should be same for all streaming platforms. So when you get to that level where there's almost no standard anymore. There used to be a time when there are people who check your music and see if it's met the standard, they an hour will listen and then pass it to the next department. But it's no longer like that. Everybody's creating music now. There are studios at home. I mean, I have a home studio. I can record myself. Nobody would interrupt me. And if that process goes all the way to the end user, which is the listener, and if that song is a hit, somebody's going to ask, why do I have to hire all of these other people, to be in the way when this artist just wrote a song, produced it himself, and then released it, and it became a viral sensation on TikTok? I mean, so that seems to be the model right now. There's not much control, but then there is so many people. And when you have so many people, somebody can be a drug lord, and even if his music doesn't sound well, he can just take a lot of money, pump it on radio and some other places. And if you keep hearing the song every day, there is a high chance you're going to like it because it's all you hear, and a lot of money has been put behind it. So I think it's been a blessing and a curse to open the floodgates, um, because a lot of everything that goes with that floodgates just goes right in. A lot of people who don't really have the music in them are now in the game. And when people see that they can actually pay their way through and have their songs become popular and they're doing shows and making money, then why not everybody's going to come in and try to just, make a living of music. So I think payola is never going to end. As long as human beings exist, there will be corruption and people are going to try to pay their way through anything.
Yeah, we definitely are susceptible to human being, and this is a big thing in the whole political thing is this not understanding that people need to be regulated because if left to their own devices, we are all corruptible and easy. We were kind of having this conversation about comedians who were going to Saudi Arabia, which is not such a good place to go, but willing to sell out, and everybody's got their price. And GD didn't know what his price was until this morning, and then he kind of figured it out. But it's true that human beings are all corruptible, and that's part of the art, manufacturing and commercialization of art. It's a difficult road to hoe. Anyway, we appreciate you being part of the program. I think if you ever come back again, I would appreciate it if you come back in that cool outfit.
Yeah, when I'm at home, I usually
Yeah,
don't.
I get
Yeah,
it, but
when I want to
this is
step on the
we're
streets.
attempting to be in show business, and the ladies. I think the ladies would like it. I mean, ladies, go look at those. He's got an 8-pack. He doesn't have a 6-pack. He's got an 8-pack, and they're not minis. They're not like the little buds. They're like full pints.
And he's got like a pack of buns next to a pack of hot dogs. He's got like a whole cookout going there.
Yeah. Before we let you go, how much time do you take to maintain that? You have to go to the gym every single day? Are you? Yeah.
I do my calisthenics workout. For like maybe 2 hours every day. I mean my manager literally woke me up from sleep because I didn't sleep early yesterday to remind me that I had just 3 minutes to this podcast and I had to, to quickly throw something on because that's the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning.
Are
Exercise.
you? Because it used to work for me. Because I used to be a gym rat. And it's hard to know now. I mean, looking at me now, like you were marshmallow. But at one point, I was in the gym a lot and writing while exercising and all that stuff. Are you doing it? Does that work to stimulate your creative energies?
Yeah, generally when you exercise, even sometimes when I'm exercising, I can feel like my lungs getting freer, and the airflow becomes warm, and when it's warm, you sing better. So exercise definitely helps me when I'm exercising. I'm thinking of the song I'm working on. I'm working on a pop song right now, and as I'm exercising, I'm just mulling over the lyrics and what could be here and what could be there. So it's a process that goes on all through my day. Like I create all day, even when I'm watching the TV, something can just come out of the TV and I just sing it into a song, and then I'm
Yeah.
like, that sounds like a good melody. I pick my phone, I record it, and it just takes on a life of its own. Sometimes a neighbor could say something far away, and there's just something musical to it, and I just turn it into music.
Yeah.
So I'm very wired to receive inspiration whenever I'm doing anything.
I think there is something powerful about automatic movement, like right for authors generally, long walks will help them get out of writer's block and all this. It's the same thing with gym exercise. It becomes an automatic movement that you don't really have to think about that much. But whatever you're doing, if the same repeating that same movement without thinking about it clears up your creative mind and energizes your creative mind in very unique ways. I think it's a powerful stimulant to the creative process, and
I don't even think I've ever had creative block because I don't know. I don't know if I've ever stopped writing music. Songs come to me like sometimes I just wake up and there's a song on my lips and I'm asking myself, is this a song I've heard somewhere before? In
Yeah.
fact, jazz song on this album, because I listened to so much Kenny G when I was a little boy. I just admired the way he played the saxophone, and he was a major influence for me in that area. So when this saxophone sound started coming to my head, and I knew that it sounded too perfect to for something that I did not write. And I had to go and play the best of Kenny G, because I knew if this song sounded this good, it has to be in his best of Kenny G. So I went to YouTube. I played for 1 hour 47 minutes. I played Kenny G's music just to see if the jazz song I came up with is in there, because it sounded very, very, very like it just came as a total package to me, from the way the verse should sound all the way to the chorus, and then of course the saxophonist improvised here and there. So we made the song together, but the
I
core
played
of it,
I played
yeah,
Kenny G for 12 hours straight one time, and
really.
a neighbor came over and shot me. Yeah.
Yeah, Kenny G was like, it's so soothing for me when I listen to his sound. He's, I don't know, he's like an R&B jazz. Like the softness of his own jazz music is so unique. I mean, I've listened to so many jazz musicians, but he has a lot of melody and a structure.
Yeah.
He's not just playing different things. There's a chorus. You recognize the chorus. It's very well structured.
But then
And
that's not. But now when you put it that way, I know some jazz musicians who look at Kenny G and say that's not jazz, and it's because of what you're saying. It's the structure. Even though real jazz, if you listen to it, like George Benson, his first album, I think it's called the George Benson Cookbook. That was so that was so good. But if you take it apart, it really did have structure.
Right.
But
yeah,
but you can't admit
Ironically,
to it when you're doing real jazz, pure jazz. You can't admit to the structure.
but
You have to.
you remember that song?
snobbery. That's what that is. That's snobbery. Jazz snobbery. There's classical snobbery and there's jazz snobbery. But I just before you respond, Sexy, I just want to say the only time I saw Kenny G live, he was opening for George Benson at Jones Beach Amphitheater. So
Wow.
George Benson at least thought he was in the same realm as George Benson.
Was that early George Benson or later George Benson? Because remember,
Oh,
George Benson went from jazz to like. Then he did his
it was
Broadway.
it was late '80s George Benson. It was when he was doing
On
that.
Broadway and this Masquerade
No,
and
no,
stuff.
he was doing the song that Whitney used, the greatest love of all and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you
That
guys
was that
remember
was
the
when they
song?
were. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Sexy.
Do you remember the song they did together? By the time this night is over, the stars are gonna shine through the heavens above. You know that song?
Yeah.
And when the morning comes, it's gonna find us together. By the time, like I really like that one there. Kenny G was complimenting him. He does something and then he plays the saxophone. He
Yeah.
does something, he plays it was so beautiful. They used
You
to
know
play it a lot in
what's weird
Nigeria.
about jazz snobs is they complain that nobody it's not a commercially successful genre. Jazz is a way to poverty and all that stuff. The minute somebody has some success, or oh, that's not jazz, they want to deny it. Like, hello, you can't complain about not making any money, and as soon as somebody in your genre makes money, just dismiss them as not part of your genre
Well, you can't
anymore.
be a starving artist if you're not starving.
Right.
And think like it's like when people say, "Oh, I'm a real this" or "I'm a real that." Like, who determines what real is? And the fact that somebody commercializes something doesn't make it not real anymore.
Right.
And then sometimes I think people just hide. People are jealous, but they won't tell you they're jealous, but they kind of hide under this realness of a thing, to codify jealousy,
Yep.
because somebody was able to do what you could not do. You didn't think it was commercial, and the person was able to take it to that commercial level, and now you're not just happy because you think it's not supposed to be commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah, instead of learning from that person, I learn from different people. If I see that you've done something I cannot do, I try to find out how you did it, rather than hate on you for doing it.
Yeah.
I think that's where people kind of get things
I think there's almost a shame to being accepted by a large group of people. They reject it as like it's something to be ashamed of. Yet nobody sits down to create something and says, "I hope nobody ever listens to this." You're creating something because you want people to consume it, enjoy it, or whatever. You're looking to touch hearts, touch minds, and all this kind of stuff. And then the minute it happens, well, I don't know if it's shame or I don't deserve this, or the idea that GD brought up the starving artist, like there's something noble about starving. Whatever it is, it's a very difficult thing to wrap your head around if you try to apply logic to it, which I
But
probably.
it's usually not the person who is successful that hates on the success. It's usually those who are not that successful and they're in the same field, and they just get mad that, why is this person, what is it doing that is so special that makes him now successful? And then they try to look for those low points and say, oh, he's not doing this the right way, this is not how you play this, or this is not how you do that, and then try to now hang on to that as maybe he's over commercializing it, that's why he's successful, so it's not supposed to be done that way. It's just a coded term or a coded way of being jealous without just coming out and say you're jealous of something. But I think music should have a structure. I don't think any type music should just keep flowing and just going with no chorus and nothing. Like, what do I hold on to? There should be some point where you repeat something over and over again. Like when you listen to Fela's music, you'll hear and then it starts again. That sticks to your mind as something
Repetition is an
important.
important part of what attracts the ear to music, and I think if you dismiss that, then and you're letting your snobbery get in the way of people really wanting to gravitate and listen to your music, you're shooting
Mhm.
yourself in the foot. So,
Yeah.
yeah. It just occurs to me you're doing a lot of vibrato and stuff, natural singing without really even standing up or doing anything physical to get that. You're a natural singer. Do you work with a coach?
No, I don't. I just,
Wow,
I just, I mean,
good for you.
music is more natural to me than a learned, like something that I was coached to become.
Yeah.
It's I don't know how to write musical notes. There are a lot of some of the things you're saying now, vibratos and this. I just do things that comes from my mind. Like, I think this sounds great, then I'm going to do it. I think this note should be bent like this, but I can't even write that note. But I just know that it sounds good.
Well, I could just tell you, as somebody who struggles and had to learn to sing on key, even to see you do that, it makes me very jealous. It's a gift. You're blessed in that,
So you're
in
going to
having
tell me
that.
I'm not a real musician, so right?
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I hope people go and support you. MapleGroveEntertainment.com. Thanks for being here. I appreciate getting to meet you. You're a wonderful young man, and I wish you
Thank
great
you.
success in the music business.
Thank you so
Uh,
much. Thank you.
And
I
when you
really
have your new releases come back.
yes.
Yes, I mean,
Oh, how did
every
you hear
sound.
about us?
It was on Podmatch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my management went on Podmatch and just try to search for. I mean, you just put it there, and then they match you with podcasts that kind of rhyme with what you're trying to do, that are in sync with exactly what you're trying, the message you're trying to pass. And we wanted to do, like, media bleeds, just getting on different podcasts to let people know that every sound, the album I just released, is the most eclectic album in the world. Is the most diverse album ever made. I'll urge you guys, just listen to the album track to track, change in tone, change in texture of voice, change in personality. Like, you have the lover boy on this track, and then you have a beast on this track. So it's an interesting album. You guys are gonna love it, and I believe your fans are gonna love it too. It's titled Every Sound.
Well, I promise you this: I will listen to the album in its entirety in one sitting. I'll probably do it this evening as I'm getting ready for tomorrow's show. So,
Okay.
good luck with it, and we'll continue. If I like it, I'll leave a great review tomorrow morning and tell people that they need to go. And I'm certain I'll like it.
Thank you so much, sir. I
Have,
really appreciate this.
have a great day. Bye for now.
You too. Bye bye.
Zexy, interesting stuff there. Now, I just want to say that listening to an album in its entirety is not the norm anymore. To get people to sit there and listen to a full album is like asking them if they'd like their teeth pulled without any anesthesia.
Speaking of which, have you received your Cactus Guy package yet?
Fuck no.
Really?
Well, I'm in Mayberry RFD. I mean, the mail is delivered by Pony Express here or whatever. It's no, I have not received any package.
Because I got mine. Well, mine arrived Saturday, and I haven't listened to it yet. I thought I was going to listen to it yesterday, but I was.
Is it a hard copy CD?
Yeah, I have. Yes.
I got no place to listen to it. I don't
really. Wow.
I don't know.
I'll tell you what when you mentioned that to me. So what I'm going to do is, because I'm going to put it in my computer anyway, and then put it on my playlist on my computer and on my phone. Once I get it on my computer, I will send it to you in a G drive, and then that way you can put it wherever you want to put it.
Do you not have a Google Drive? Google and just upload it to I can give you access, and you can just upload it to my Google box. My Google.
Yeah, I have Google. I have a Google Drive. I just call it a G drive because that's how it's called on my computer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the G is short for Google.
Gaga.
Yeah, right. I just call it my G drive because that's how it's identified on my computer.
All right.
I will send you both CDs in your to do Google to your Google thing, your Google Drive, and you can put them wherever you want.
When I was a kid, when I first heard the word Google, and I must have been in 6th grade when I first heard the word Google, I thought the math teacher was just fucking with me, and I never imagined a time in my life where I would say the word Google as much as I do. I feel like Google, gaga, Google.
FYI, Hackright Studios is here somewhere. It says reaction videos are the. Let me put it up so that other people can see it. Reaction videos are the devil. Let's react to this Tim Dillon news.
All right.
We already reacted to that. I didn't know who Tim Dillon was, and Matt told me about it. We discussed that in the first hour.
He is on an earlier part of the program or something and seeing that stuff.
Oh, like a delay?
Yeah.
Oh, that's possible.
That other person they were obsessed with our numbers. Listen, our numbers are what they are. Some days they're good, some days they're bad. But we're all over the place. And the primary place, because you know what, it's really hard to get numbers on what we do. But iHeartRadio and Azu Radio and TuneCore are places where we get our best numbers, whether that people are watching or listening. You know what? It is what it is. And I'm never gonna kind of like try to compete, because I was looking at my analytics yesterday for some reason on YouTube, and it said my main competitor is Joe Rogan. It's like, that's fucking funny. That's fucking Joe Rogan, and I am certain of this. Even before Joe Rogan was popular, in the first minute of his first episode back in 2009, I'm certain he got more views and listens than every episode combined of this and all my other things that I do. So listen, I don't know what made YouTube think that he was our main competitor. Like book sale, a local bookstore podcast might be comparable to competitor, like the local brick and mortar bookstore.
It's when we're listening to Zexy, I was reminded of a short film that I'd written, but we never finished making it. I used to belong to a thing called Rockville Film Institute, and what it was a conglomerate of talent, and we got together. Some were musicians, some were comedians, some were that was me, musician and comedian. Some were filmmakers and actors and stuff. And we got together and we would work on projects together. So like if I had a project I had people who would help me with that project. If you had a project, instead of you trying to do it by yourself, if you belong to the Rockville Film Institute, we had actors, we had writers, we had cameramen, and we would do that. And so one of the projects I had was, I don't remember the name of it, but the premise was there's this world famous musician who has been invited to speak to a music class, you know. So he goes into the music class with all these students, musicians and stuff, and they're asking him all these questions. And it turns out that he does not read music at all. So he's there to teach them a song, and he does it by saying, okay, you over there, the drums, I want you to do this. And now over there, saxophone, I want you to go like that.
Ouch.
And I'm sorry, but that was the whole thing. And he had the whole class teaching the class that way. And then at the end of the movie, end of the short film, that's how they do the song. Everybody's just voicing their parts instead of playing the bass. He's mouthing the bass parts. So
wow. That's a cool way to. And there's a lot of producers who actually work that way.
I thought Bill Cosby actually did that. He did an album called Bill Cosby Not Himself, and it was basically songs. I think it was all songs, and he did homages to like James Brown, Pointer Sisters, stuff like that. But he didn't play an instrument. He would just say, "This is what I want," if I remember correctly.
Right.
I could be totally wrong, and if I'm wrong, you can correct me.
Tomorrow, I hate to cut you off there. I don't really hate to. I'm lying. I don't. I love to cut you off there. Tomorrow, you know how sometimes I have Bigfoot people, or Bigfoot authors, or UFO authors on, and I talk about proof. Because people can say they saw, or you saw, no clear photographs, no real. Give me an in-person witness that I can interrogate. Tomorrow, we have somebody who has seen something quite legendary, quite unique, and we're going to get to question him on it. Our guest tomorrow is Dan Pasternak, who is a comedy historian. You'll appreciate that.
Yeah.
But he has seen. Are you sitting down? He has seen Milton Berle's dick twice.
Now you talk about mythical creatures.
Mythical creatures.
Yeah.
And I think
you said not once but twice.
Twice. And the second one is the more interesting one, if you ask me. But he's also gotten, because for a time he was the booking agent or manager for Milton Berle. You're thinking, what is this guy? 98 years old? No, he's about my age, which is 98. But the second one is more interesting. But he also got a firsthand accounting. And I hate to blow it, but I'm going to blow it. This story where Milton Berle and Forrest Tucker, remember F Troop Sergeant O'Rourke? Yeah. He had a legendary big cock too, and they had a legendary big cock off in a locker room, which the punchline is really funny, and I won't ruin that. But the story about and Milton Berle told him firsthand about how this legendary cock off. It's like if Jackie would say, "Oh, that's one of the greatest showbiz stories ever." You probably never heard of it. I didn't hear about it until a couple of weeks ago when I found out he was going to be on the program. But it's a classic Hollywood lore of their cock off, and he got a firsthand accounting of it from Milton and another press agent or something who was there. So it should be, but we're not just going to talk about that. We're going to talk about screenings of Airplane and Stand By Me. For some reason, he's involved in remastering, rescreenings of those films. We'll talk about them. All thanks to our good friend, Queen Elizabeth Croydon.
Great. Oh, we have to thank her. Well, you probably did already.
Yeah. I'm thanking her over and over again by trying to do a painting to impress her so that I can give to her.
Okay.
And I've done about 5 now.
I got an idea. Oh, but you don't do portraits very well. I was going to say because the pictures that she sent to you, you could do a portrait of her, or do a portrait of one of those pictures. I think that would be like really cool.
And my wife wouldn't even bother having me cremated. Then she'd just have the trash and pick me up. So,
okay, never mind. I still like working with you. Maybe maybe when you. I want to share this. Jackie, going to Jackie Martinez in his Q&A. One of the things he talked about during his Q&A was when he was um, in Vegas with Rodney Dangerfield, and he's telling the story. And he's telling the story about how they were, drinking, out drinking and stuff. And you're not like you probably know the story.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's telling the story and how they're pissing on the dumpsters behind this casino. And Rodney Dangerfield looks over at Jackie and says, "Welcome to the big time." And so Jackie is saying that he was at a club and another comedian was telling the story like he was Jackie and it wasn't Jackie. And Jackie said, I got so pissed off. It's like he's telling my story, erased me from the story, and put himself in it. And so, okay, so Jackie was saying that really pissed me off. And so so after the Q&A, Jackie goes to the bathroom. And when he comes back to the bathroom, when I can see that he's just an earshot, I start telling the story like I was with Rodney Dangerfield and I had replaced Jackie. And he starts laughing.
Well, let me just. I hate to do this. It's like I'm throwing cold water on him or whatever. Jackie has told that story a number of times, and I don't dispute it for a second. I guarantee that it actually happened. But what Jackie doesn't realize is Robert Klein had the same experience. A couple of different people who worked with Rodney had the same experience. Apparently, this was kind of a thing that Rodney did to people. Is he'd take them to piss in an unusual place, and then look over with, "Hey, welcome to the big time, kid." Like,
so it's like it's a joke, and it's like somebody's telling a joke, and only he's living it. He's putting you in the middle of a joke that he's living.
Yes.
And the punchline is "Welcome to the big time."
Yeah, and
okay.
So Jackie thinks that he's alone in that, but Rodney treated everybody to that experience. It's like, "Oh, you're a rookie, huh? Here's how we're going to break you in. You got." And this would be part of the tale with Dan Pasternak, how he came to see Milton Berlecock the second time. It's a similar story.
I just wanted to share because Jackie just laughed because he knew immediately what I was doing. I was just trying to bust it because it's funny. I don't tell jokes, and when Jackie and I and John and Swan were together, John and Jackie were sharing jokes with each other, telling jokes to each other. And I can't do that. I have short stories. And I start a short story and Jackie goes, "I can't wait to hear the end of this," or "I'm sure glad I missed that one." So it's like he's like busting my balls constantly. So I just didn't try to do anything unless I could add something to what they were already doing.
Yeah.
Because
that's why I wanted to have that guy Clutch on with Jackie. Clutch is the guy who runs the Suffolk Theater. Jackie knows him a bit. He's a friend of mine, but he's a guy who can go joke for joke with Jackie. And he's never done it as a stand-up, but he knows. He's like Jackie with an encyclopedic memory of jokes. And it would be just interesting to watch them just joke off and joke
each other off.
Yeah,
watch them joke each other off.
And we could just go out to lunch and come back, and they'll still be like, "Ah!"
Just hit record. We'll just hit record and just come back and watch it later.
All right, I got to take my wife to the mechanic. Her car needs to go.
Is she okay?
No, it's okay. Yeah.
It's her car.
Her headlights are a little loose. I don't know how that happened. Wow.
Some people use silicone or maybe Botox to fix that.
As you get older, it becomes more of a permanent fixture type thing. But whatever. I don't want to. I'm already in trouble. So tomorrow, Dan Pasternak. I promise you, it will be a good conversation. Except he's not going to be here till 10:15, so we're going to have to kill some time. Hopefully, the computer nonsense won't be a problem tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I apologize for that mess up this morning. I went into panic mode when I should have just taken some deep breaths. And
you should have put a blue pill between your teeth and just. Did you see that picture of Trump with the blue pill between his teeth?
No,
at the U.S. Open yesterday. He's sitting there, and there's a close up of him, and he's got it looks like an Adderall stuck between his teeth and just chomping on. Like that's not how you're supposed to take it anyway. But it's a very weird thing. All right, I'm going to tell people.
Oh yes, yeah. Snapchat just Jackie loves my comedy, doesn't he, GD? Yes, he does. Uh,
I
like I
just want
said,
to say to Ian, change your moniker from the nicest guy to not the nicest guy. He always says mean stuff about me in the comments. He's not the nicest guy, Ian. I like Ian. I love. I think though I'm gonna have to cut him off from C major 7 if he doesn't start saying some nice things, because he's been saying calling my music corny and AI. You know, one thing I got to say about, you mentioned time signatures. Trying to get AI to do a song in 3/4 time the other night,
oh,
over and over. No, that's 6/8, you dummy. A Texas waltz. No, you're just missing it. So, but Ian's been mean to me, so he's not the nicest guy. Change your moniker to not the nicest guy. Anyway, Jackie loves my comedy. Doesn't he, GD? Yeah,
yeah, it
Jackie
did.
loves comedy.
Jackie and John were getting. They were, like I said, if I were a lesser, if I was a more insecure person, I would have been jealous of their interaction. But I was just enjoying it. It was like
Oh,
I was just,
I'm a little well. I'm pissed that that John thinks of Jackie as his favorite uncle. Fuck him. He's out of my will. He's out of my will.
Oh,
And
you don't
then,
even want to know how Swan thinks of him then, because Swan didn't mention you once, not once. Did she say, "Oh, it's a good thing that we came across Matt, because otherwise we would not have this opportunity." She didn't even give
first
a
of all,
shit.
if you come across Matt, wipe it off. I don't leave me with cum all over me. All right. I got to go. My wife is impatiently waiting for me to take her to get the car worked on. So until tomorrow, Dan Pasternak, get excited for this. We're going to hear about a sighting, a real live, 2 sightings of the mythical beast known as Milton Berle's cock.
If you have to leave, you can play the music. When I hit end stream, will everything stop, or is there something that won't stop like last time?
No, radio. We're not even on the radio. Oh wow, yes, we're on one. We're on Azos radio. I'm not on TuneCore today, because I was struggling, so I never turned that on. I don't even think we're on BitChute today, although BitChute will pull it down later on. But no, you can just turn off, just hit end stream. I appreciate that.
Okay.
All right, I'm out. Don't forget to turn on your radio. Dan Pasternak tomorrow. See you later. Bye for now.
me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now.